Oh. And then, alright! Should I tell you guys then? Or should I do it on another stream? I went to Disney! Yeah, I kind of said it yesterday during the omotenashi. So. You guys want me to tell you guys now? Mau Ollie ceritain sekarang? Yeah! Went to Disneyland! Sama siapa aja, Li? Hehehe. Li ditraktir ke Disney sama Aniki. Aniki finally kept his promise and took me to Disneyland! Yeah, and of course it's not just us two. Yeah. We had other people joining. We had Fuma and Rio also joining in. We kind of invited like a lot more people to come with us, but a lot of them had like clashing schedules, so only 4 of us went. I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my god, Ollie's going to Disney with 3 other guys. He's cheating on us. He hates us. No. First of all, I also like girls. and yeah. Second of all, we literally just played. Well, it's obvious, Lameo. Did one of them win you a prize? Aniki said that Disney games, they're not worth to play because they're super hard to win. And you only get a badge, so we didn't really win anything. But we did get quite a lot of rides for like half a day, I would say. Did you use a translator to communicate with them? That's the thing. See, me and the guys, we hardly talked while we were in Disney. Like, we only talked like after every ride, like before and after. We didn't really talk that much. It would just be a constant loop of 今日は暑いね。暑いね。太陽は眩しいね。ね。あ、もうすぐだよ。ね。さっきのライド面白かったね。楽しかった。ね。これうまいよ。ね。いや、さっきはやばかった。ね。お土産買うか。あ、これいいと思うよ。ね。It was a little bit hard to communicate with them because they were talking in Japanese, which I couldn't. It was a little bit hard to comprehend the Japanese that they were talking about, and every time I want to start a conversation, it's very hard for them to understand my broken Japanese. Yeah, because they're not used to it. Like, every time I talk to La Mama with my broken Japanese, La Mama would understand, like, first try 100%, and he would get the message that I'm trying to convey. But for the other guys, they had trouble. So it was very hard for me to start a conversation or to keep up a conversation because I don't know how to respond. I would try responding in English and they'd be like, huh? Huh? なんだって? So, もっと話せるでしょいや、だからできないよ。レベルはちょっと高すぎだった。あの3人ができなかった。だから俺の返事はね。ね。Yeah, there was no Japanese. There was no anime Japanese, you know? So it was a little bit hard. But I did have fun with them. Episode ko. Aniki paid for all of our tickets. I didn't. Wow. So here's the story. I told him I was in Japan and I wanted to give him like the stuff that I brought him. I got him like a fan. I bought him like a blancon and I wanted to give it to him. And then he was like, "Oh, okay. Then why not we go to Disney while we're at it?" And so he bought the tickets and I was like, "Okay, so how should I repay you back?" should I just give it to you cash when we meet? And he was like, no. You don't need to pay. And I was like, what? He was like, no. My treat. Omotenashi. So, and you know, he didn't only pay for the tickets, he paid for so much more. We had a fast pass for the Beauty and the Beast ride. We ate at Crystal Palace. And we watched 2 shows in Disney. That's a lot of stuffs. Like, goddamn, he even paid for our lunch. He really did kept his word. And it wasn't just, he didn't just pay for me, mind you. He also paid for Fuma and Rio. You see, we couldn't stay long at Disney because at around 7 p.m. I had like more work to do, so whether I like it or not, I had to like go back before the estimated time. And so I went home at 5:30ish. And even then, he would be the one who takes me to the taxis and whatnot. So. He would time keep also. It was so sweet of him. So like, M-chan told him, right, how I have to be like back before 7 and if possible get Ollie in a taxi by like 5:30. And so he time kept. He time kept our travels. He time kept every single ride that we went on. He kept on looking at his phone to see that we still had enough time, just so that we ride enough rides, see enough shows, and you know, experience the best of Disney. He was going all out. Is he a prince? He probably is a Disney prince, because you know what? By the time we arrived at Disney, of course, usually when the gates open, it would be very crowded, right? I told him that I wanted to buy a head accessory. It doesn't matter if it's a hat, if it's like Mickey ears. I just want the head accessory for Memories Keep. And so he was like, okay, if you want to buy this, then let's just go a little bit deeper inside, because if we're going to buy it in the main street, it'll be war. We don't want to waste our time in the main street now, do we? I was like, oh, yeah. And then so we passed through the main street, and instead of like going to the really big, like, you know how nandaro, when you first come into Disney, you pass through the main street, and then in front of you would be like Cinderella's castle, right? We didn't go through that route. We went to the left, and we went to the, what was it called again? New Orleans? We were at the New Orleans area. It was like, okay, the reason to why we're going to the left instead of going straight or going to the right is because it would be really crowded, and there's going to be a lot of really famous snacks that I think you guys might like. There's going to be a lot of vendors here as well, so Ollie, he can like buy as many accessories as he wants. And I was like, oh my god, he knows everything. Like, he literally knew every single little shortcut in Disney. It was crazy. No, but we did meet up with the Boy Scout Donald, like camping Donald. Yeah. You know how he's like a really big fan of Donald, right? We met up with Donald, and we touched his butt together. Yeah. It was like meet and greet, you know? Like, all 4 of us was just lining up, and when we got in, Donald instantly gave us his butt, and all 4 of us just immediately start touching, while Donald gave us like a twerk show. How's it feel? It's very soft. You guys should try touching Donald's butt too. Yeah. Breaking news: zombie and alien sibling commit sekuhara at Disney. It wasn't sekuhara. We had his consent. Donald was consenting to the whole thing for free. I mean, we did wait for like 15 minutes, so it did cost us a little bit of our time. Yeah, but to give you guys my impression, let's start off with Rio first. I feel like Rio is super, super cute. He's just that precious. And I love how it's nothing changed from Rio, you know? Rio is just Rio. And I love how he's just so boyish and a little bit kiddie. So it's always fun just to bicker around with Rio. So. I bicker with Rio a lot. Especially when it comes to like, let's say, we were walking like the four of us, right? And like a group of four is pretty big, if I would say so myself. So we have to take turns whenever we want to like enter a building, right? We have to like come in one by one. He would always hold the door open for me and I would be like, no, you go in first. I appreciate it, but I'm okay with being behind you guys. And he was like, no, ladies first. And I'm like, no. We fought a lot. When it comes to like, even when it comes to like holding drinks, like Aniki would be like buying drinks for all of us and we'd all just be waiting. And one by one the drinks would be distributed and I would give him one of the drinks that we ordered. We basically ordered the same thing and then he'd be like, no, you can have it first. And I'm like, no, just take it. We fought a lot. Yeah, aggressive politeness. Yeah, aggressive gentleman. So, hi. And for Fuma is Fuma. So unlike Rio, you know, Rio would always give a fight. He would try to up me when it comes to like politeness. But when it comes to Fuma, I can just use my Aneki card and my Senpai card. Fuma would be like, Senpai, here's your drink. And I'd be like, no, you drink it. And he's like, but I already got you to drink. No, you drink it. My orders. I'm your Senpai. And he'd be like, oh, okay. It was fun. I like bullying Fuma too. Yeah, he can't fight. He can't put up a fight. which I feel is really, really cute also. Like it was a pretty hot day, right? And so no one really had like a fan with them. Like Aniki did. But only Aniki had a fan, like, and there's like 4 of us. And so Fuma was like, Atsuine! And then I would just pull up like a mini hand fan and I would start fanning him and then he's like, no, it's okay. And I'd be like, no, shut up. Just let me fan you. And he's like, oh, okay, thank you. I love how he instantly obeys every single little thing. Also, and one more interesting thing about Fuma is that it's his first time going to Disney, actually. You see, I've been to Disney before. Rio also has been to Disney before, and you don't even need to ask how many times Aniki has been there, right? But it was actually his first time. And it was also his first time riding like a lot of the rides. Well, duh, obviously. Like, the first roller coaster that we ride was Big Thunder Mountain, which is, to me, is the most baby out of all of the roller coasters because it's actually pretty tame. It's also Aniki's favorite roller coaster because Aniki's not really good at roller coasters, actually. And because it's tame, he really likes it. And so Fuma would constantly ask, how scary is Big Thunder Mountain? And we'd constantly say, oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. Kids can get on it. It's not that fast. It's like, out of the roller coasters here, this is probably the last fastest coaster that you'll ever ride. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then, I can't wait. I'm sure I'll have fun. He nearly collapsed. He got off, and he was all wobbly. He was like, you called that a slow coaster? Yeah. He got jibby. like you could see like the life just draining out of his face after he came off. Fuma trauma gitto. So and you know, we ended up riding Space Mountain as well. And then he kept on asking us, okay, so how scary is Space Mountain? And we just told him, oh, it's super fast, but you can't really see anything because you're basically in space. You'll only see like stars, and that's about it. It's not that scary, is what we told Fuma. Do you think I can do it? And we're like, yeah, for sure. I mean, you beat Big Thunder Mountain, so you should be okay with Space Mountain. I sat at the very front of the coaster. Rio and Fuma, they'd be sitting behind me, and then Aniki would sit like behind them. So. I told him I wanted to sit at the very front, and then Anika was like, "Oh, okay. If you're going to sit at the front, I'd be at the back." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So. Anika's actually not very good at roller coasters, so he didn't want to be at the very front. So I kind of sat alone in the front, and I had my hands up the whole time during Space Mountain. I was like, "Wee! Wah! Tanoshii!" And then behind, I would just constantly hear Fuma screaming while Rio would be laughing his ass off. I could hear Fuma cry like right behind me. Ah! Ah! Nani kore! Ah! Shinu yo, shinu yo! Yamete! Ah! Kowat! And then Rio would just be beside him. He'd be like, Fuma is very Fuma. Yeah. Rio enjoying that scream. Yeah. It was fun seeing Fuma like that. Yeah. Whew. And last but not least, my impression about Aniki. So, you know, we met up like in front of the station, right? Kita ketemuannya itu kayak di depan stasiunnya gitu kan. The Maihama station. The first one that got there was me, and then Fuma came, and then Aniki was the third to come. And so, I asked Fuma, what kind of person is Aniki? And then he was like, oh, well, you'll know when you see him. He's very, very fashionable. And I was like, how fashionable? Because I've heard stories from my mama. My mama told me that Aniki is such an extrovert that it even scares La Mama sometimes. And then so, Aniki came. He arrived with absolute drip. And it was actually very intimidating. He was so intimidating that I had to like hide behind Fuma. He is the... I can't explain it with words, but he was basically dripped out. He's like those type of people that you would see like in, I don't know, Paris Fashion Week or something. Like he's just oozing with extrovertedness. It scared me. It was like light to vampires. Yeah. And at first, to be honest, we didn't talk at all. It was like that awkward sibling moment where you finally meet up with your sibling, but it's just so awkward you can't talk. Like, he talked to the other Uproar boys, and I also talked to the Uproar boys. It's just that at first we couldn't even meet eye to eye. It was weird. It was very awkward at first. We eventually warmed up though. But it was a very awkward first encounter. At first. Like, I don't know, it's just that we instinctively we just avoided each other's eyes and we just couldn't talk to each other eye to eye. It was weird. So. Like, we didn't talk too much. Juman, he was really, really nice. I could tell that he was really looking out for me. For example, we keep on taking turns on buying like treats for each other, right? Like for example, Fuma would pay for he would pay for like the turkey leg, and then next time it'd be Rio, he'd be paying for like ice cream, and then next time it'd be like Aniki paying for the lunch in Crystal Palace. And when it was actually my turn, I was like getting churros and like drinks for everyone in Tomorrowland. I forgot where we were eating at, but it was basically at Tomorrowland. I was like getting drinks for everyone. And while Fuma and Rio was like looking for the seats, Aniku would just stand right next to me while I wait for the orders to come, and I'd be like, you know, you could help the other guys look for seats. I don't need you to accompany me. And he's like, well, once the order comes, then someone will have to hold the tray, right? And I'm like, I can hold the tray myself. And he's like, no, I'll hold it. It was that kind of sibling bond. We kind of fought over who gets to hold the tray. I won though. I hold the tray. Aniki kind of laughed how resilient I was in holding the tray and getting everyone's order. So. He's worried your arms will break off. Cute siblings moment. It was really, really nice. Really, really kind. I feel a little bit guilty though, because he paid for so much for the trip, and I had to like go home early. And the omiyage that I got him was only a hat, a fan, and Indomie. I felt so bad. Like, I want to tell him, you know what, next time you go to Indonesia, I want to treat you as much, but at the same time, I don't think he'll ever come to Indonesia as well, you know. I feel bad. So. Should we reward him for you? Oh, can you guys like give Red super chats and just spam him next time he streams? That'd be great. At least give like half of his money back, because he really paid for a lot. He even... So like, I had to go to the studio that day, right? The work that I'm supposed to do it at the studio. And so you know what he did? He told me to stop by the souvenir shops. And he bought a bunch of cookies, a bunch of sweets, a bunch of goods. And then he told me to take it with me, and told me to give it to the staff. Ain't that so sweet? Just to thank him, send him a bunch of red super chats for me, please. Fine, I'll send some supers to him next. Yeah! Should I just DM you guys the link in Twitter when he does stream? Let's attack him with kindness. So. He's really, really nice. Oh! One more thing! At the very first, he did kind of ask me, like, Ollie, what's your favorite ride out of all of the Disney rides here? And then I told him I really like the Winnie the Pooh Honey Hunt. So I thought it was just his way of like breaking the ice before I was off my way to the studio. He made time just so that we can get on the Winnie the Pooh ride. It was so nice of him. He actually remembered. Yeah, so after we watched his show beforehand, and I was like, okay, then I guess I'll have to go to the studio now. And he was like, wait, we still have time for one more ride. Come on, let's go to Winnie the Pooh. It was so nice of him. He remember.